Let's bring in Larry Klayman. He is the founder of Judicial Watch and also of Freedom Watch. Larry, good to have you with us.
Nice to be here with you. Thank you.
All right. So, Larry, Qatar, which has been accused of sponsoring various Islamic terrorist groups and extremists, as we mentioned, donating over $1 billion to U.S. colleges over the past 8 years. And at that same time, we have been seeing an increasing anti-Israel sentiment on U.S. college campuses. From non-Jews and Jews, there's an increase of groups on campuses that promote the BDS movement, the Boycott, Divest, and Sanction Israel movement. Is there a potential connection here?
Most likely there is, and that's what needs to be investigated. And Judicial Watch, which I founded, I now run Freedom Watch, of course, is looking into that. I'm very much involved, too. I formed a group called the Coalition of the Jewish Right, because you're absolutely correct, is that there are many leftist Jewish groups that actually support anti-Israeli boycotts, that in fact say things and support individuals who have said anti-Semitic things. They're even supporting people like Representative Ilham Omar. So it's important that our college kids get the facts, that they understand that Israel, we didn't take the land away from the Palestinians. I'm Jewish heritage myself. That in fact the UN in 1948 created a homeland for both Jews and so-called Palestinians, and the Palestinians declared war on Israel, right. And that was the reason they lost their land.
But I get the issue here is to what degree Qatar may have an influence over the sentiment that's being propagated in U.S. colleges. And I understand that Judicial Watch is particularly focused right now on the Qataris' funding of Texas A&M, that's a public university. Judicial Watch representing the Zahor Institute, which is an advocacy group against anti-Semitism. So what exactly is Judicial Watch requesting? What kind of information are you looking for out of Texas A&M?
Well, the group is asking for it because they want to find out what's behind this anti-Semitism. It's not just Qatar, by the way. And yes, I believe that Qatar is funding this. That's correct. Texas A&M being in Texas, and I love the state of Texas, but there's an inclination to favor oil-producing states for obvious reasons. That's where a lot of oil is obtained. And in addition to that, you have other countries as well that are financing this kind of anti-Semitic, anti-Israel behavior. Saudi Arabia sends a lot of money into the universities. So it's something that needs to be exposed, and it's important that the American people be educated about the efforts of Arab states and Muslims to try to influence thought in this country. You know, lots been done in the last few years with regard to Russia. We need to look at some of these Arabic states as well.
So if these Qatari funds come with strings attached, I mean, what do you think those strings could be? I mean, what is the method or the way that they're using these funds to try and get their agenda propagated on campus?
One can only speculate, but it doesn't take a lot to convince most college professors to be anti-Israeli and to support a boycott of Israel. Unfortunately, that philosophy is rampant. It's even rampant among the Jewish left, because a lot of the professors on college campuses are Jewish.
Do you think that these, when these funds are given, it comes with like a precondition of you have to hire this college professor, or you have to make sure that this is the kind of ideology that's taken when this course is given? I mean, do you think it's to that level of influence?
It could be, but it doesn't even need to go that far. It can simply be, you know, it's understood you're getting the money from Qatar, from Arabic interests. If you want to get more money, you better play the game. And that's the problem. Let me say one other thing here, because it's important. It's an issue. It's really important to me. You know, I am a Zionist. I'm a proud Zionist. I believe that the state of Israel was created for Jewish people and by extension, Christians. It's the home of not just Moses, but of Jesus. And it just doesn't have anything to do with whether the Palestinians should have a homeland or not, to respect the state of Israel. But the really frightening thing are people in the Jewish left who are, in fact, very destructive of the Jewish people in the state of Israel. And this is something that I've been fighting against. And you can go to freedomwatchusa.org and see our coalition of the Jewish right, because I don't want the American people or anyone around the world to believe that Jewish people are against the state of Israel by and large.
Larry, thank you so much. We're out of time. Appreciate it. Larry Klayman.
You're welcome.